Hi and welcome to my exhibition called Space in collaboration with the Vibe Gallery. This is my first solo show in London, and what you're looking at are two large canvases depicting reflections in a forest. This is Grunwald Forest Scene 1 and this is Scene 5, and they're part of a series of 6 huge collage, huge paintings that reflect my time spent in Berlin last October. I'm just going to walk around and show you the rest of the painting. So it follows the progression of a walk from looking at the reflections of the water to coming across the thicker woods, as you can see here in Scene 3. And alongside the images of the paintings, I quoted a very famous speech by Chief Seattle. And Chief Seattle is an American tribesman who the current city Seattle was named after. And he advised us, the modern nation today, to look after the planet. And there are some beautiful, beautiful quotes about how we should be more respectful of nature, as you can see there. So, if we carry on walking around, these are more of the same series. Grunwald Forest Scene 1, this is more leaves reflected in water. And then we come to, if you walk over this way, a slightly more abstract piece. This piece is part of the same series, but it's about my own feeling that there's a soul in nature and we have to be respectful of that soul. And there's this, a very kind, benevolent face looking out at you. And, it's not to everyone's taste, but it did have some fans, so I'm happy with that. And this is the final one in the series, The Forest, which is, some people have said it's kind of like it reminds them of a fairy tale, and I wanted it to be like that. I wanted it to transport people to a more enjoyable, childlike time of their lives. Sanctuary of my space, if you will, and this is where I did the more simple charcoal paintings, they're actually works on canvas, alongside the installation pieces. See, this installation piece is based on stone circles and reflects my desire to bring, again, the spiritual element and the respect for nature. Right here. And then to go with that connection that I want everybody to feel, I also made an interactive tree to go with the show. And it's called the Tree of Lives. And I asked people to sit down at a little table over there and to think about what their formative moment in nature was, and to hang it on the tree. And I had some really beautiful, beautiful responses. Some of it is sort of quite, poetical, really. Just, very simple pebbles and rocks on the beach. And, some other just very beautiful. The happiness of everyone. And the hay fever. So that was very important for me, to get everyone's reaction to the show and for them to feel reconnected with their own experiences with nature. So that's the Berlin section that you've looked at, but this is also another side of the exhibition which features my photography. This photography I took in Windsor Great Park, and this reflects my very formative moments in nature, because I grew up in Windsor Great Park and spent many a childhood day visiting the forest. That particular one has been very popular, and people say that it looks a bit like space. It reminds them of being high above the planet looking down at space. It's actually just detail of bark there. And also you come to this installation piece. It's a piece of found bark in Windsor Great Park. We didn't take it off a tree, it was on the floor. And this is not for sale, but it's a sort of relic to my childhood, and also it helps bring the outside inside. And I encourage people to really look at it and to touch it if they want to, because that's what nature's all about, is interacting with your environment.